Hey, I'm Adam Jusko, and this is Strictly Credit Cards, where we talk about strictly credit cards. Subscribe, why don't you? In this video, the American Express Platinum Card, we're going to review it. Now, is the American Express Platinum Card worth its $550 annual fee, especially here in 2020 when we are in the midst of the COVID-19 coronavirus crisis? Now, this is a card that normally is a travel card in particular, so people that are real road warriors, going through airports, staying in hotels, those are the people that normally would find this card potentially to be worth it at that big annual fee. Now, American Express has added a couple statement credits and some benefits here to try to soften the blow during this crisis and give some credits for spending that makes more sense when a person is at home versus when they're traveling. But is it enough to make up for what you're paying and not getting here in 2020? So in this video, we are going to look at the card overall, including those statement credits that last until the end of 2020, and figure out how it all works together. We're going to start with the everyday rewards that you get on this card, and that is you will earn 5 membership rewards points per dollar on flight purchases made either directly with the airlines or through amextravel.com. You will earn 5 points per dollar on prepaid hotel stays. You earn 1 point per dollar on everything else. So obviously, again, very travel focused airlines and hotel stays. That's where you're getting all your enhanced rewards. In terms of a bonus, these bonuses change a lot, so what I tell you the bonuses on this video may not be the bonus that you see on their website or that you see elsewhere. But anyway, as I make this video, I am seeing an offer for 70,000 membership rewards points if you spend $5,000 with the card in the first 3 months of having it. You can think of those points as being worth anywhere from around $420, potentially up to $1,000 plus, depending on how you use them. So even in this year where it may be harder to justify that annual fee, the bonus could make you feel good about this card for that first year anyway, especially if, maybe you use the points for a good travel deal or something. So those are the points and the bonus that you're going to get at the beginning of the whole card holding journey. Now, I just used a pretty big range when I talked about the potential value of those bonus points, and that is because each point that you get in the membership rewards program from American Express could be worth a very different amount depending on how you redeem it. And so if you redeem for statement credit with American Express credits against purchases you have made on the card, you're only going to get 0.6 of a cent per point. So that means, for example, if you had 10,000 points, that would only be worth $60. Oftentimes in credit card reward programs, we think of a point being worth a penny. So 10,000 points, for example, would be worth $100. So that's not a very good rate on those membership rewards points if you use them for statement credits. Now, there are many other ways you can redeem them. You could redeem them for gift cards, and depending on what gift cards you're using, you might get 70 cents on the dollar. If you use them for other gift cards, you might get up to a penny a point. But probably the best way to use them is if you transfer your points into a travel partner that works with American Express, and there are quite a few of them, both airlines and hotels. On the airline end, you have Delta, you've got JetBlue, you've got Hawaiian Airlines, you've got Singapore Airlines, you've got Air France, Etihad, and there are others as well, Marriott and Hilton on the hotel side. So if you can transfer your points into one of those programs and you can find yourself a good travel deal, well, then you can think of your points being worth more. And so you really do have to do a little bit of legwork to figure out how to maximize the value of American Express's membership rewards points. And for me, at least, that is not something that is ideal about their points when compared to other credit card reward programs that tend to give you at least a penny a point on almost all of your redemption options. Now, earning and redeeming points is definitely not the only name of the game with the American Express Platinum Card, because there are a lot of perks and other credits that you can get with the card. So I'm going to start here actually with the 2 credits that are here in 2020 because of the coronavirus crisis. They end at the end of 2020, but depending on how things look when we get to the end of December, perhaps they could extend into 2021. But anyway, the first of those is an up to $20 credit per month on streaming services, and that includes most streaming services out there, all the big names. So if you are paying $20 or more, you would max out at $20. If you are paying less than $20, then you would get covered whatever it is that you paid that was less than $20. In addition, you would also get an up to $20 credit on your wireless phone services. Again, if for some reason or somehow you are paying less than $20 a month on your phone, you'd get up to the amount that you paid. If you were paying more than $20, then you would get a $20 credit. And so that is a monthly credit. And again, you would get that through 2020 and maybe into 2021 if they need to extend it. But as of now, that is the deadline, December 31st, 2020. Now, there are plenty of other credits and perks that come with this card by default. Probably the biggest one is the $200 airline credit. Now, it is for incidentals. It is not for airline tickets. So you can get an up to $200 credit each year on incidentals like baggage fees, in-flight purchases, and those sorts of things. So not on your tickets, but on your incidentals. Now, you do have to choose one airline to get those from, so it's not across the board. And American Express kind of has a pattern of limiting a lot of the perks that they get, and this is something that always annoys me about them. But up to $200 possibly if you have one airline and you spend enough on incidentals to get there on a yearly basis. The next big perk that many American Express Platinum card holders love is the Global Lounge Collection, and that is a collection of airport lounges. So if you're someone that travels often, you have access to American Express's Centurion lounges, the Delta Sky Club lounges, the Priority Pass lounges, all under the umbrella of their Global Lounge Collection. So if you are someone that really travels a lot, you might find a lot of value in having these lounges to go to as you travel in the airports, to sort of get out of the chaos of so many airports. So some people think this is such a value that even though it doesn't have a strict dollar value to them, that alone could make the card worth it. Of course, as I make this video, all of these lounges are closed, or at least the vast majority of them are closed. So it is obviously, again, another perk that is not one you can take advantage of right now. And then there is the up to $200 Uber credit per year. Again, this is something that is sliced up and you get it piecemeal. So you can get an up to $15 credit per month from January through November. In December, they give you up to $35. So if you maxed out every single month, you would get a $200 credit over the course of the year. But you can't just count on that $200 and use it whenever you want to. It is either use it or lose it in each one of those months. You've also got a credit for your application to Global Entry or TSA PreCheck. This is a credit that at most is going to give you $100 or a 4-year period. So when you sign up for Global Entry or TSA PreCheck, they get you through the airport faster. You have to pay for them, and if you pay for them with the card, you will get that essentially refunded back to you, but those last for a while. So even though you have to pay that $100 up front for Global Entry or the $85 for TSA PreCheck, they're going to last for 4.5 years, and so it's going to be a while before you're going to have to pay for them again. So it feels good at the beginning, but of course then you're not getting sort of a new $100 or whatever it might be every year. You can think of that as sliced up over 4 years, so it's $100 over 4 years, $25 per year. Still, it's something. Next is an up to $100 credit from Saks Fifth Avenue. Like so many things that American Express does, they don't just give you the $100 and let you use it all at once. They split it in half. You get a $50 credit in the first half of the year, $50 credit in the second half of the year, which means you have to shop at Saks 2 different times in order to maximize that credit. Now, if you would do that already, you can think of this as $100, toward that $550 annual fee, and it's just another thing that sort of helps justify it. But if you wouldn't be shopping at Saks otherwise, it just means that you've got this money to sort of play with and buy yourself something, but it's not necessarily money that you would spend there otherwise. So I think of this as sort of a shaky credit that I don't really think of as justifying that fee for most people. And then there are quite a few other intangible travel perks that is not easy to put a dollar value on. Things like status at Marriott and Hilton hotels, trip delay insurance, trip cancellation insurance. You have 2 hotel collections where you get things like room upgrades and free breakfast when you use your card when you stay at those hotels. So American Express really sort of piles on the potential ways that you could earn credits or that you could have perks at various places. So it all depends on how you use this card, whether you are going to see full value from it. So like I said, there are a lot of nice to haves with this card, meaning things that you might use, but they wouldn't necessarily be part of your everyday spending or travel patterns. So you either value them because they are part of your patterns, or you decide to sort of change your behavior to match up with what this card offers. So it definitely has a laundry list of stuff here. It's everything but the kitchen sink sort of with American Express, but you have to figure out whether there's value enough for you and whether you can maximize the value when it comes to these credits that are split up into months or parts of the year, or however that works. So for some people, it totally matches up. Some, that Global Lounge collection for some people is worth the price of admission to get their hands on the American Express card. For other people, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And you have to think that not only are you trying to justify that $550 annual fee, but you're also comparing this card to everything else that is out there in terms of the rewards and perks that you might get for that, either that same money or maybe a no annual fee card that is going to give you perks back that would mean you get actually more value out of the card. So it really depends on how you spend, how much you travel, all of those sorts of things. With all that said, really hard to justify becoming a new cardholder of the American Express Platinum right now here in the second half of 2020. Even with those extra credits on streaming and wireless, you still have a $550 annual fee, and unless for some reason you're traveling, which most people are not, you're missing out on those 5 points per dollar on flights, missing out on 5 points per dollar on hotels. You're not going into those airport lounges. You're not taking advantage of many of the other travel specific perks that this card offers. So I would not suggest getting this card if you don't have it already. And if you already have this card, I might consider giving American Express a call and seeing if I could get that annual fee reduced or waived until we are at a place where we can travel again. Yes, it's nice to get the streaming and wireless credits, but those don't nearly make up for what you are losing elsewhere on this card. So that's it for this video. I'd love to hear your comments in the comments section below. Otherwise, I'd ask you again to subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.